What's up guys, Constech here, back again for another video. Today we'll have a look at a newly released keyboard that's so well made, you'll be surprised it only costs $40 US. Here's the TMKB GK61. But wait, isn't the GK61 an old model that's been out for a while? Well, yes and no. Well, I think this keyboard might have come from the same OEM as the GK61 that we all know. It's cheaper, and I feel like it's just made much better. Shout out to TMKB by the way for sending this in. They're affiliated with Keymove, which explains why we can see Keymove's name on this part of the box and on their warranty card here. Alright, let's get started. So the TMKB GK61 was just released this year, and they're currently being sold in Amazon. And much like the old GK61, it features Gateron hotswap optical switches. It's also a 60% keyboard, so it's very compact at the expense of losing dedicated arrow keys, F keys, and some function keys. Missing keys are allocated to a second layer and are triggered by pressing the FN key along with the corresponding key. Alright, so the keyboard weighs at around 600 grams, measures 29.2 centimeters long, 10.2 centimeters wide, 2.7 centimeters tall, and 3.8 centimeters tall when the flip-out stands are raised. It comes with a keycap puller, a switch puller, extra switches, a really nice looking USB-C cable, a manual, and the warranty card that I showed you earlier. At the surface, it looks quite premium and elegant. By the way, the keyboard comes in two colorways, but the one I really like is this one. Black case and red plus black double shot PBT keycaps. Edges are chamfered and the entire case is textured. This kinda reminds me of the Pro 2 actually. Overall build is excellent. The keyboard has a decent weight and it does not flex at all. I really appreciate the way they designed the USB cable. It looks really nice with this angled end that connects to the keyboard, and the USB-A connector is designed in a way that it will fit in the port easily. No more doing this. Flipping to the bottom, we can see the power switch and a generous amount of rubber padding that helps the keyboard stay in place when being used. The flip-out stands also have rubber feet on them, which I really appreciate. Now let's take the keyboard apart and have a closer look at it. So it has an aluminum plate which helps with the keyboard's overall rigidity. It's also using a hotswap PCB made especially for TMKB. And although it's not something we would actually see when using the keyboard, I really like how it looks. It's just so damn clean. I'm surprised to find that there's a thin layer of foam at the bottom of the case. I've never seen a budget mechanical keyboard that comes with one. Well, it's only about 2mm thick, but it's nice to have since it helps in muting the keyboard sound, improving its overall acoustics. Keycaps use the OEM profile and fonts are neutral, which I always prefer. The double shot molding spans across the entire keycap, which makes the keycaps really thick. Since these are PBT keycaps, they have a nice rough texture which will last long. I'd say these are really good ones. They feel really nice and look durable enough. Now moving on to the switches. For a $40 keyboard, it's surprising to see that the keyboard comes with Gateron optical switches. My copy came with Gateron Browns and I really like how they sound. They're tactile switches by the way, so they give a subtle feedback when the switches are pressed. They have an actuation force of 55 grams, which is a bit higher than the red switches I'm used to, so it took me time to get used to them. Now discounting the switch color, I would say Gateron optical switches are great switches. They don't wobble, they fit nice and tight, and they have a lifespan of 100 million keystrokes. That's twice the lifespan of a traditional mechanical switch. And if by any chance a switch breaks, which is very unlikely, you can easily replace them due to the keyboard's hotswap nature. Combining the Gateron switches with the keyboard's overall build and the PBT keycaps, the TMKB GK61 produces one of the best stock typing sound you can get out of a $40 keyboard. Here's a sound test for you guys. typing experience and acoustics is, I would say, this keyboard's strong point. It sounds so good out of the box and it feels really nice. I like the PBT keycaps too. They have a really nice colorway and the legends complement the keyboard's minimalistic feel. The stabilizers are pretty good too. Probably comparable to the Anpro 2 since they have very minimal rattle. I think modding them can go a long way. Alright, now when it comes to performance, the TMKB GK61 is hands down a great performing keyboard. I would say it's because of the optical switches. They're generally faster than traditional mechanical switches because, well, nothing is faster than the speed of light, right? Now, do keep in mind that the best way to use the keyboard is wired mode. Although it offers Bluetooth 5.1 connectivity, I feel like it just won't be able to keep up with the demands of competitive gaming. If you're a casual gamer or mainly use your keyboard for work, then it's okay to stick with Bluetooth. But if you want the best performance possible out of this keyboard, then wired is the only way to go. The only wireless option that would come close to wired performance is 2.4 GHz wireless connection, and unfortunately, the keyboard doesn't have it. Now about battery life. Since Bluetooth is generally a low power consuming technology, the keyboard can last up to 2 days on a single charge with its 1900 mAh battery. By the way, the keyboard can pair up to 3 devices and switching between them is seamless. Software is kinda plain but easy to understand. It's a bit buggy though, and sometimes it doesn't detect the keyboard even if the keyboard's plugged in and working. I had to restart to make it work. Anyway, the software helps in setting macros and keybinds, create personalized profiles, and of course, play around with the RGB. Now speaking of RGB, the keyboard has a lot of RGB presets you can choose from, and I find the lighting substantially bright. While I feel like this keyboard just looks good without any lighting, it's nice that it's there. Anyway, enjoy the light show. To wrap things up, the TMKB GK61 is a really solid 60% budget mechanical keyboard. It's insane. For $40 you get a keyboard that feels and performs great out of the box. You probably won't even think of modding it. It's very rare to find a mechanical keyboard this good at this price point. It's nearly perfect. Now if you want to mod it, just keep in mind that your only switch options are Gateron Optical switches. That's not really bad, especially if you want a switch that will last very, very long. That's it for this video. Dislike this video if you have to. Give it a like if you want to support what I do. Feel free to drop a comment. Consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my next uploads. And as always, thanks for watching and see you guys soon.